Dime orb. I guess I should start handling that polluted water. Now, let's think about this. What would be the best way to... Essentially, I want a shallow basin on which I will bottle polluted water so that it constantly evaporates oxygen. So we want something like this. Okay, that should do the trick. Because I want there to be just enough polluted water on the bottom so they can bottle it by sweeping it, and those bottles then produce polluted oxygen. The more you have them, the more oxygen it is. I'm going to be streaming for at least 2 more hours. I'm going to be streaming Oni every Sunday, and I'm going to be adding another day for streaming. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure which day of the week that will be. I want to do Sundays to be Oni, and then another game that I'm going to be streaming during the week. I really don't know how I'm going to fit it into the schedule because I also have a day job, so I'm not always in the mood. But yeah, fine, Justin. You move wherever you need to move. I'm going to be on for a while longer. Uh, so the Sundays will be only streams for a couple of hours at least, and then I'm going to be adding another day of streaming somewhere in the week. Haven't really planned it out yet. It's going to be a different game for those, something shorter, because Onis are going to be long-term streams. And what am I doing here? Oh yeah, I'm going to decor items now. Okay, attribute increase. Whew. Athletics. Princess Consuela Banana. Okay, so I can close the... I can't close that up because I'm still gonna need that. And oh, I know what I didn't build up. Oh, also I know why. Even though I didn't order anybody to clean up the mess, they usually do so anyway, slowly. And the reason they didn't do that is because I completely forgot about making a storage room. I was thinking, I'm missing something here. Something's not been built. What didn't I build that I usually build early on? A storage room. Yeah. Okay. So this will just be for polluted water. This will also be germy as all hell, but that's fine. Also, if I get any puffs, I'm gonna put them in here, so we can get some slime going as well. Okay, so this is for polluted water, which then I will bottle, and that'll emit oxygen. So here, this doesn't look very pretty, but it doesn't have to. It only has a specific purpose, and the purpose is to create oxygen out of poop. That's the sole purpose of this room. Oxygen out of poop. Hold on. There is a way of building this up the way without releasing anything. I think you can still do this. You can build one diagonally even if you don't release the block next to it. So hopefully that still works. No printables available. Give me an artist. Oh, no artists. No artists, but 3 tons of fertilizer. That's what something we do want. Oh, but I don't have a farmer yet. Hmm. I think Abe is gonna have to be the farmer. Yeah. Okay, change of plans. Farmer or artist. We still have more than enough food. It's not going down, it's actually going up. Probably because of all the muck root we've dug up. So, I can handle 2 more duplicates. Although oxygen-wise, that might be a bit of a stretch. Still seems to be going fine. I don't see many hatches though. That's a concern because I need hatches. So these things, I'm gonna be ranching those. I don't see many. There would be more. Was I just unlucky with the ranches? I hope there are more. I'm going to need those. I can, as long as there is a single one, I can always make more just by breeding them, but it takes time, and they are essentially the source of coal, a renewable source of coal. But they eat dirt and other things, and they make coal as an excretion. Abe agriculture raised, that's fine. Okay, so let's see if this can still be done 6 and 6s because I want this to be done first. Move. Okay. We can also start setting up our refinery here. I'm going to need refinery to refine the metal that I need for the power plant. And yeah, all of this is going to be released. There's just no way around it. Hopefully it'll all go down here and it won't be an issue. But essentially it's just going to be here. So I'm going to need some water for the refinery. I'm just gonna release this. This one. I'm gonna release this. And I'm going to need water for coolant. Oh, see. And now I do this. And they bottle it up. And bottled water. You can see that even just left on the ground, it releases some fluid oxygen, but not a lot. It actually releases more when it's bottled up. So that's why we want to bottle it up. The thing is, when I bottle it up, they're just going to put bottles back into this. I had to turn it off. Yeah, the system isn't perfect. System needs to be worked on a bit. Sadly, there is no way to move bottles on their own yet anyway. So I have to do it like this. It's not a problem for as long as I can just move the water here. Yeah, I'll have to do it. The moment they move this, it's gonna be fine. Actually, maybe I should just give up on bottling because even just polluted water on its own will emit oxygen as is. I just don't know what the ratio is. I could check, but it really doesn't matter that much. I'm just gonna leave it alone. What's important is that oxygen is being made in there. That's all that matters. Those little puffs of oxygen. That's all I care about. Nothing else. The problem is CO2 will collect in here. And that might be an issue. Okay, let's get these. Agriculture, everything, consumable ore. I I want to leave critical alone. Cultivable soil, filtration medium, liquefiables. No, please. Metal, miscellaneous, organic. No, only algae and eggshells. Polluted dirt. Leave it alone. Raw mineral and seeds are fine. Copy and paste. Now they will actually clean up some of the stuff I leave around. I will need automation, so do that next. I have to keep in mind that if I'm going to be utilizing this, I'm going to be building around it. So this refinery should also take that into account. So I'm not going to build up right on top. I'm going to go a bit lower. It's fine. Oh, but I will need iron before we do that. So this iron has to go. So priority is to get down here and get that iron. Hello, Chlorine, I have missed you. You big, massive headache. Okay, automation's done. At this point, I can just research whatever, because it doesn't matter. I see some new stuff is here. Multiplexing. They've added new stuff since I've last been here. This is a long way away, but they have added some really cool stuff. Automated automation ribbon. Up to four automation signals. Oh, they have added more automations that I've noticed. I didn't even use some of this stuff. The game can let you automate pretty much everything in the game, but I haven't played with some of these factors yet. For the time being, though, I want ranching done because I will need that very soon. I have some fertilizer now. We said that you're gonna be a farmer as well. Okay, let's check temperature. Yes, you can see how the yellowish stuff became green because the temperature has decreased. This one is actually even getting blue. So despite this emitting heat, it's actually being effectively cooled by the Weesworth. And you can use that whenever you have such a bubble of heat. Like the compost bins, they create a lot of heat, and you can just put a Weesworth between them and that'll effectively negate it. Because this emits heat only while it has dirt inside of it in sufficient amount. But Weesworth constantly works as long as it's being fertilized. And it doesn't need a lot to be fertilized. It needs 4 kilograms of phosphorite per cycle. You get tons of it. I think that a single tile is 600 kilograms. So you can run your Weesworths for a very long time. Now I need some iron because I don't want to make anything outside of the base out of copper. Because the only copper you get in a map is the one that you start with. That's it. This is a lot of copper, but that's effectively all the copper I'm going to see on this map. No more. So this is several tons of copper left, but I won't get any more copper than I have here. So I prefer not to use copper unless I have to. It's okay to be used intermittently, but not for everything. There's also no need to use for everything. It has better conductivity, so some of the electrical items are better to be built out of it. But it also melts easier, and I don't want that in my power plant. What are everybody? Yeah. The next step that we're working towards is making a power plant, because this hamster wheel is now obsolete. it works because the only thing it has to power are these computers and this oxygen diffuser. But the idea is to have a lot of things running on power, so this little hamster wheel will just not cut the mustard. Is it even a proper term, cutting the mustard? Why would you cut the mustard? I think I've confused the term with another term and invented a new term. Is there such a way? Cutting the mustard? Mm, I don't think so. I think I've invented the term. Invented a phrase, anyway. Okay, so this is now working swimmingly. You can see that all of my duplicates are running all over the place because they have all kinds of stuff that they need to do. So I'm gonna put this on a higher priority because I would like them to do this now while I'm still young. Actually, that's still late because I'm no longer young. Before the stream ends, that would be, okay. Okay, so now I am actually, a rancher, but with a decreased strength, and a rancher that can't do doctoring errands. See, we want this. We want a rancher. But I also like this. Pips are useful too, because they can create dirt, but I don't have any arbor acorns yet because they don't show up on this map. They have to be printed. So we're gonna go for a rancher called Max. So Max, you are going to be a rancher. You also like to do cooking. Excellent! You're gonna be our chef slash critter rancher. So you are going to be doing that, and that means that your priorities for a time being are cooking, ranching, and farming. That's all I want you to do for the rest of your life. And you will see that it says insufficient oxygen production next cycle because this has run out of power, and that's why we want the power plant. Oh, another one. I believe this is a saltwater geyser. They usually show up in these biomes. And I'm gonna check what that geyser is. Hopefully it's something we can actually utilize. What? I can't do, call it super hard. Justin, you are not super hard digger? You are a super hard digger, don't you lie to me. It's unreachable though. That's probably the problem. We have some iron to work with now, so we can now focus on the refinery. Yeah, all of our main research is now done, so I can now let them do research whatever comes along. Ah, super duper digging skill. Oh, that's the level 3. You are not there yet. You are not super duper digger yet. It's kind of inconvenient that you put that there. Can't take that obsidian. How did you take that out? Oh, that was an obsidian. Okay, whatever. So we need to start building up our refinery. I have 7 tons of metal and that will be just enough. So I'm gonna have a metal refinery here. And that will need a coolant pool. I think I overdid it. It's actually nice if this water all ends up here, because I want this to be a coolant pool, because this refinery needs coolant. It's gonna overheat. And that's why I want it to be built in a cold biome, because any heat that it's made here will slowly be dissipated in this cold biome, because the temperature is -30 in here. It doesn't work fast, but it will allow me to work on the refinery longer than it would be usually possible because of the heating. Gloria has mastered researching. She is now a master researcher. There we go. So once we are done with the power structure, we will be able to feed this electricity on both ends. I just realized that this geyser is in the way. I'll have to put the power plant a bit more to the right than I usually would, because this thing is in the way. Probably have to surround this with insulation. And as you can see, all of the chlorine is hovering in this level between oxygen and CO2 and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is nicely collecting down here, and that's fine because I want to use that CO2 for mushrooms. I will be growing mushrooms later, and that needs CO2. Okay, perfect. So this will be temporarily powered by a hamster. It seems that Justin has caught hypothermia again. He really likes to be frozen. Well, now two of you have hypothermia, and I'm perfectly fine with that. It's for the good of the colony. Bear with it. Okay, so we can plan this out while they're doing something else. So I don't have any smart batteries yet, so I'm gonna use a regular battery here with a hamster power here, and all neatly connected with the cable. It's a temporary solution, but it will work just fine. And that has to be plumbed up, so output here, input here, and pipes. Ooh. Hold on. Like this and like this. Also, that pump needs to be powered. Here. There we go. My heart, my heater for Justin. Well, consider that Justin is the digger, he will be mostly in the warm areas, so Justin is only temporarily inconvenienced by the cold. He'll probably suffer from heat stroke when I tell him to go dig in these areas where it's 42 degrees. He will be suffering from heat stroke. Also, because he's a designated digger, he will be the one who's going to be digging for oil down there. So he will probably at some point get scalding as well. The thing is, I could make him a sweater if there was any reed fiber around. And there is one reed here which isn't growing, so there is no fiber in it. And I don't see any other reed fibers. None at all. Oh, there is one. Also not growing. But I need a lot of polluted water to essentially grow that. So he's stuck in his little Jimmy Jams until further notice. Princess Consuelo is in the similar because she's a builder, so she has to gate through this coldness all the time as well. It's only temporary. When this is functional, they will be warmed by the warmth of the machine. And then all of this will start melting. While they're doing that, let's see what's happening around the place. I do have some metal. I have 4.5 tons of iron. That's going to be fine for now. Thing is, in order for me to circulate electricity, I'll have to make the power ran through here, which means I will have to get around this bloody geyser. The geyser ends here, so this is gonna be a wall. This is gonna be a wall and the power plant is gonna be here, which is fine. There's no problem with that, especially since I'm gonna be using heavy watt wires for this part. Normally what I do is I make the transformers in this little gap over here and line one transformer for each floor so I don't overload the wires. 2 tons of water, medicine, excavation strength. No artists. So let's just take water. Now the problem with my usual plan is that I'm having to work with less room because essentially because of this geyser here, I have to build around it and I have to isolate it. So I can't put the transformers here. I have to put the transformers here. I know I could put the transformers here, but transformers make heat, and I don't want any heat going past this point. So I'm in a bind. Yeah, there's nothing for it. I'll just have to do it here and just put it on the same floor as the batteries and everything else. There's just nothing for it. That'll just have to be done that way. There we go, this is now working. It's just it won't have enough water in here to pump enough for that to work. There's not water in here. Yeah, that's about as much as it can. Oh, it actually has enough. It has enough to work with. Interesting. I would like it to have a bit more though, so let's release this water as well. Let's release this water as well. I want you to do this before you do anything else, so do that first, please. And we can refine some metal. I need, I think, 200 refined iron for a smart battery. Yeah, 200. So the idea is that this will be the power plant over here, and now why can't I have my hand moving stable in one single direction? So there will be floors, and each floor will be dedicated to something. So the first floor is going to be for the batteries, which will be then, of course, the batteries will also have the extra transformers for each floor. Each floor will have a transformer and transfer the power. There is no problem doing that. Just need to map it out. The first floor will be batteries, but I want to get more water in here before I do that because this will heat the water really quick.